Top reasons to choose Ride Along Live for your wedding video production. Now, your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. It is a day that you would want to cherish and remember forever. That's why it's important to choose the right company to handle your wedding video production. Here are some of the reasons why you should choose us. Professionalism. Now, we are a team of experienced professionals who are dedicated to providing high-quality video production services. We have worked with countless couples to capture their special day and create videos that they can cherish for a lifetime. Attention to details. Now, we understand that every wedding is unique. That's why we take the time to get to know and understand our clients' individual need. We pay attention to every detail, from lighting to song to the editing, to ensure that your video is perfect. Creativity. We are always looking for new and innovative ways to capture that special day. We use the latest equipment and techniques to create a video that are both beautiful and unique. Customization. We understand that every couple has different needs and preferences. That is why we offer customizable packages to meet your every need. We work with you to create a package that meets your budget and your vision. And last but not least, customer satisfaction. Now, our goal is to provide you with a video that you would love. We are committed to customer satisfaction and will work with you in every step of the way to ensure that you're happy with the final product. Choose Ride Along Live for your wedding video production and let us capture the special day in a way that you can cherish forever. Speak to our dedicated representative. Call 718-701-5720. We travel worldwide. Ride Along Media Group. Always amazing, always exceeding your expectations. Yeah. Welcome to Monday on the Ride. Thank you. How you guys doing? First, I gotta say thanks. I don't know if I believe, because I got notification for the past week or so, we just weren't getting any kind of notification at all, and people was complaining that we went live and they just don't know until they go on the page, right? So hopefully that was fixed. So if you guys got notification, give me a big thumbs up. Hopefully we're cooking with gas. Yes. Tell you guys, I had an amazing weekend, but it's not about me telling you about my weekend today. It's about big conversation we're going to have with Killa. But I had a very, very good weekend. Thank you very much. For those of you who was asking, so I know he was asking, how was your weekend? I had a great weekend. Thank you for asking. Rachel, how you doing? Lacey J, how you doing? Rachel, you got, notification. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No notification for the past couple of weeks, and just boom, they just turn us back on. Noel Charles, Rena, how you doing? Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Everybody share the program, guys, because we have a lot to talk about, a whole heaping set of things to talk about. Because when Mr. Killa is on the program, we talk the things. We might even go over time. I clear my schedule about a whole next hour or so. So we have some things to talk about, man. Yeah. A whole heap of things to talk about. And also, before we get on and chat with Mr. Killa, I must say that, guys, we didn't change our time. We are still 6 p.m. on the time, right? It's just that daylight saving times change. So some of you guys are seeing this at 6 p.m. in Grenada, but that's because our time changed. But we are actually at the same time. I'm still at 6 p.m. All right? So just so that you would know. Sherwin, Harry, big up yourself. Thank you. Everybody share. Still share, guys, because we still want people who are not hip to the new time yet. Who not hip to the time yet that they should come on, because we do have a big conversation. Okay, all right. Let us not waste any more time, and welcome Hollis Map, Mr. Killer. How you doing, my friend?
Blessed love, blessed love. Everything good, brother. How you doing?
Good, freaking good. This has to be a highly anticipated conversation, Killer, because you had people calling me all kind of, hour ago asking, well, what you and Killer talking about, boy? What are you gonna be talking about, boy?
Well, my messages, my phone full of everybody like, yeah, what are you talking about later? What happened? What are you talking about later?
But the truth of the fact is, Killer, we have a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things, and we ain't blowing no hot air. I mean, we're talking about constructive things. We're talking about things that we've recognized. We're talking about things that is of importance, to our neighborhood, our world, our country. I think, and it's important. So I'm happy that after time you grace us with your presence, so we could talk about all these things that's affecting our world. So how you been? How you been for the past couple of days, my brother?
Good, brother. I would say amazing. Working extremely hard, and anytime I quiet, if I quiet, then stuff is because I working extra hard. You see,
right?
A lot of great things in the pipeline, a lot of great things in store.
Nice.
God's grace is good,
Nice. The first thing I want to start on, Killer, because we touched on this a few months ago, but I think it's important that we get a little more in depth in it. I'm speaking about Spice Mask Carnival. When we last spoke, Trinidad had just canceled their Soca Monarch, right? And what we saw just a few weeks ago, an announcement by Barbados to do the same. Barbados now saying that they're no longer going to have Soca Monarch. Is that a blessing or a tragedy? From your perspective, from where you sit, what do you think about that?
It goes both ways. Remember when we spoke the last time, I was saying that if Trinidad decided they don't want to do the Soca Monarch no more,
right?
There's a way to actually create a greater showcasing of the talent that they have.
Right.
There should be some expression that is bigger. Competition is not the last stop. We have to always remember that competition is not the last stop. But if there is no competition, which has I think the greatest anticipation when it comes to a show of any magnitude inside of soca music, or inside any carnival, the competition has been the greatest anticipated show throughout the islands, So if there is not that type of anticipation, you have to then create something that still showcases your culture, give the artists a platform to actually grow outside of what they already doing, that is bigger for them. So I think Barbados has taken that approach to look at not just the competition, but the showcasing. So I think they're actually going to go into. I actually mentioned that on the show when we spoke the last time.
Yeah.
So you cannot kill, you cannot kill the culture or kill a tree and don't plant something else. You understand? So I think Barbados has taken the approach of the greatest showcasing of their talent on night. So you have to wait and see how that works for Barbados.
Well, I have the announcement here. I want to play back the announcement, the actual announcement made by Barbados on the direction that they're taking as it relates to culture. This is the announcement.
In order to make a year-round living as a soca artist, your music has to be trending and in the hands of DJs and festival and event promoters. Notwithstanding that some local acts are getting work, numerous others are not. and there is a great potential for more bookings. But we need to up our game. A thriving industry cannot be realized by seasonal offerings and songs written for competition. We need to expand more, we being the artists and the industry, into merchandising and brand endorsements both here and abroad. So, here is where we are at today. We being the NCF and all relevant stakeholders. And we are generally in agreement that the Soca Monarch competition model no longer truly benefits the soca artists in pursuing a sustainable livelihood. And so, we have agreed that we will mount a joint campaign and project to assist artists and producers with the production of soca tunes that can hold their own in any market, assist with distribution and marketing of this new content, support artist initiatives in merchandising, events, and song collaborations. Provide training sessions for artists in songwriting, presentation, and simple show business practices. And instead of the competition, produce a world-class soca concert on August 6th at the Gardens, featuring the best songs of the season, our top artists, up-and-coming artists, and lots of surprises.
All right, so that was the NCF announcement, Barbados saying that they will not host Soca Monarch this year. Now, after I piece this thing together, Mr. Killa, there are some things that you have to question, right? My thing is, with or without a competition, I believe that the NCF and the Cultural Foundation should do all the things that's listed.
No, Junior, so after now you actually play that and I'm listening to it carefully. They say now they will assist soca artists in producing tunes that will then pierce market. Now that is a question. Because in the first place, to assist a soca artist to produce a song that you think will produce a pierce market, in the first place, a hit song a lot of the times is unpredictable. A lot of the times, you understand what I'm saying? A lot of the times it's 50-50. A lot of the songs you might think might hit does not hit. You see what I'm saying? So that is almost unpredictable. But if you're assisting the artist with production, writing camps, and just with writing methods and different things, seeing what is piercing different markets, helping them with collaboration and stuff like that, I think that should be done almost every day.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That should be done like year round.
Yes.
And not just in Barbados, but I've been saying that for years. When it comes to culture, you're supposed to be supporting your artist anyways. The artist is one of your greatest marketing tool. You know what I mean? As Caribbean islands and stuff like, not just as Caribbean islands, when you look at Jamaica, when you look at Africa, America, all of those places, your artists a lot of the times is what pierces international markets.
Right.
So you're supposed to be assisting them. So taking away the the competition on one night does not shift that.
Right.
So if an artist for the season build 5 songs, and one of those songs is for competition, the next 4 could be for international market, and then you still help them push that beyond the show. So I don't know, sometimes a lot of the times people who put things together and present it sounds good, but when you really sit down and you decode it, largely, you understand, it doesn't really do anything,
And here when we piece this together, another thing that doesn't make sense to me is whether you have the Soca Monarch to judge the biggest songs or not. Somebody's actually judging, because there might be somebody who sit there and say, well, this is a big song, or that is a big song, or that song should be pushed. Somebody's still judging somebody.
Same way.
Yeah.
I mean, look at a song like Run With It. Run With It is just a big song. Look at a song like Roly Poly. So whether I compete with that song or don't compete with that song, it's a big song. You see what I'm saying? And the competition was just a plus for it. So, you know, you work in both ways sometimes. But
Yeah, and again, you know, I want to. Yeah, this is a holistic conversation, guys. I know you guys, you know, want us to talk about whatever you want to talk about, but this is a full conversation, and we're saying that a lot of countries might jump on this as a great idea. Yeah, no soca monarch, but when you put
you know, sometimes sometimes, you know, we like to follow, you know. So
yes,
we have Trinidad who say mother of soca, mother of carnival and stuff like that. They get rid of the competition for their own reasons, right?
but their reason was a lack of funding. Their reason, Trinidad reason was a lack of funding.
That is one reason.
One of the reasons. Well, then Marshall Montano was the nail in the coffin. That's
not all the reasons. That's not all the reasons, George.
Mm-hmm.
You have reasons beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you have some of the reasons, because remember, Trinidad also become a stage where you give air and you can actually build, you know what I mean, superstars that is not sons and daughters of the soil. You know what I mean? And you have sometimes people have to sit down and make collaborative decisions that they think is best for their business.
Right.
You know, and you know, sometimes we see those things and we don't understand it to the root.
Right.
You know, we see the branches, we don't understand it from the root, and we would make decision and follow, you know. And that's what we do these days, you know, follow trends. When sometimes something is done for basic reasons, from two people sit down and decide, you know what I mean, this is the direction I think we should go, you know, and not a holistic approach, what is really and truly best. You see what I'm saying? So here we are, and I want to say, well, we have our own to pay attention to, you know? So let we mind with business and grow.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So as far as it relates to Grenada, let's shift gears and look at Spice Mask Grenada Carnival. This is one of the topics I really want to touch on. What kind of framework or what kind of improvement could the Spice Mask Corporation do? Because they have they have new executive on the board, they have new members, they have a new CEO. What new things do you think that could be implemented to make the product in Grenada better after seeing all that's happening in the other countries?
Judge, I don't know if you want to leave that topic for a little later, because but you want to say?
Yeah.
You know what I would say? I would say this. Grenada, and not just the front of culture, but on the front of a lot of things, has the opportunity at this moment to get ahead.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes.
Ahead. We have the opportunity to design bigger and better. Right? Now, we have a problem, George. And that problem is a lot of the times we have people in some position who really do not understand the, I would say, the essence, you know, the framework, the structure, the root of what they're sitting above.
Right.
You see? Or what they are ruling, or what they have the opportunity to really shape. So that becomes a problem. And we end up getting stuck. And for years upon years, we see, you know, people come, people go. People come, people go. Not much change. There are some people that came and you could see the wheels start turning, things start changing. And then before you know it, they too also gone. Now, Josh, let us have a conversation about culture. And I want the people who are listening to understand this. Now, we are yet treating culture as if culture is a myth that we still kind of believe in. You understand? We're still treating culture external. Like culture is an external thing. We're treating culture like if culture is sports. You see? We are treating culture as a myth that we still yet kind of believe in. What is culture in itself? Before we even start, we need to have the conversation of what is culture? What is our culture? What are we building? Because if we don't know what it is, then we can't really build it.
True.
If we don't know what it is, then we can't really nurture it. We can't really grow it. So culture is yet treated in our country as an external thing, when really and truly we are the vessels of culture. You see?
Yes.
Culture is an expression of a people. Culture is what we eat, what we drink. You see? The religions we believe in. You see? Our spirituality.
Yes.
What we wear. And how we express ourselves. So culture needs a body to be expressed. Without us, there is no culture.
True.
So culture in itself is not external. Culture is our expression as a people.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if we don't treat culture in that way, if we don't actually then collaborate, if we don't link with the culture men, then how would you really understand culture? Because a lot of the times there are people in position who are not culture men.
Right.
They are witnesses of culture. You see, they are spectators of culture. See, them themselves, each and every one of us holds a little piece of culture, because there's a little piece of expression here. But I'm talking about here and there, but I'm talking about the culture man itself. Realize when carnival come, there is people in the band and there is people on the side of the road.
Right.
You see, when carnival come, there is people in the crowd and then there is the artist on stage.
Yes.
When panorama come, there is a pan man playing pan, and then there is the spectators, and then there is the audience. When Queen Show come, there is a model, and then there is the audience. You understand? So there is some people who deeply live, eat, breathe culture.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, those people do not have the chance to help the culture be, designed and navigated into a way that the expression will feed, you understand, the men that actually supposed to be fed by culture and entertain the country, you understand, and fulfill the journey of our culture.
Yeah. Yeah. What role, Killa, from your perspective, from where you sit, from your vision, does the administration, the government, the powers that be, these people have in maintaining, sustaining, promoting, and supporting the culture?
When you just call it the roles.
Yeah.
You just literally mentioned those roles, brother. You're supposed to be supporting the culture. You're supposed to nurture the culture. You're supposed to be able to market your culture, and you're supposed to be able to place your culture in I would say, how I should put it, in different parts of the world where your culture will be then recognized and will be sought after. You see, because people are interested in cultures.
Right.
Worldwide.
Right.
Some Africans travel the other day from Africa, come to Grenada, go Carriacou, and because Carriacou still hold, and still express their culture. Look how far they travel from to get a piece of that culture. People are still traveling to Jamaica.
Right.
Bob Marley. The culture of reggae culture. You see? People traveling to carnivals everywhere for the culture of soca, for what we do.
Yeah.
Grenada have a unique expression that it owns. Grenada own jab. The expression, the subgenre under the great, what you call the spirit of calypso, soca music. You see, Grenada has what you call jab. Grenada still owns the freedom expression. You see, of dragging the chains and the drums. and blowing the conch shell.
Mhm.
You see?
But then, Killa, here's someone just posted and asked a question there. Is an interesting part to go. Has enough administration come, administration go? Has enough emphasis been placed on maintaining and promoting that culture? Putting the monies, putting all the resources to ensure that this thing grow. Because without a culture, without people,
No.
Do you think that are not enough investment financially?
No, there's not. There has not been. No.
Yeah.
That's a answer. That's no, Judge.
Yeah.
Not just that alone, the design.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So they say, application is everything. How do you apply will determine, what the outcome. So me and you can have a bucket of paint.
Right.
You see, we have the same paint, bucket of paint. And they give us 2 walls to paint.
Mm-hmm.
I take my time and I put on my bucket and I start to open. You open your bucket and you want the paint quick, so you splash it on the wall. And you try to spread it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even paint half the wall. But I take my time, I take a paintbrush and I paint the 2 walls I'm supposed to paint and another wall.
Right.
See, because we are the same thing, but then how do we apply will then give you a different result, different answer.
Mm-hmm.
So our application, you see, so the design even of Spice Mass in my head, in my eyes, still need to be modified.
Mm-hmm.
Still need to be spaced out. So I will just show it. I'll just throw ideas out there. Think about it. Pan. We want to bring back pan, but children does not listen to pan. A lot of kids never hear pan play until Carnival come.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if I had to then build pan, so this is just one idea. Right? See if I'm making sense. If we have to build pan, then we need the presence of pan.
Right.
Right? Now, around now, so why isn't there a competition with a rendition, a pan rendition of whatever song they would like to choose? Whether it's an old school Grenadian song, whether it's one of the new songs. We have artists releasing amazing songs already. You have Boise, you have Dash, you have different artists already releasing amazing songs that is playing out there, right? They do a rendition of a song, which is going to be a radio competition.
Right.
Right? We're going to judge the song over the radio from the best pan arrangement. From now, about the next month.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after that, what we have to do is let go for the culture man also. So let the pan men come together, the organizations, speak to them and give them the incentives and the permission to create activities. Activities like what? We have the Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
Why we cannot have pan on the Carnage?
Yeah.
4 months before Carnival.
But Killa, before you even go there, you said students or kids or schools, and I thought you was gonna go and say why pan don't develop in school? Why they don't have more activities
for that? Remember, we get into that because education, we don't have culture, we don't have music and those things in our curriculum like that no more. You understand what I'm saying? So we're definitely going to get to that. But what I'm saying is for the Spice Mass itself coming up, George.
Mm-hmm.
Why we don't have the pan? Whether it's pan in the gardens,
right?
Every Sunday from now, and then let that bill and panorama. So you give it a chance.
Yeah.
When Carnival come, George, I don't hear the great Ajamo. How I used to hear the great Ajamo. No more.
Right.
Done. I don't hear the even though Tangla gone, I want to hear my Tangla.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? My flying cloud, those people and the new Calypsonians.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So start those things from now. So there is a build.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see, where is our culture outside of Carnival?
You're right. You don't even notice it. The thing about it is, Killa. The thing about it is, there is no like museum of culture See if there's a museum of culture, these things are going to be forgotten. Just imagine, Killa, if Gentle Ben never put up or set up a YouTube page, how much content would have been lost, and nobody would even know about Specky performance back in whenever year and Tangla and all of these guys who pass. We don't have a culture museum, so this is gonna be forgotten over a period of time.
We don't archive anything, and that's what I'm saying. So the same point you make a while ago in schools, things supposed to be taught. It is sad, brother. It is how culture is yet being treated in this modern day and age. When we have a lot of the times, again, I would say we have people who would speak culture, but then they do not understand copyrights.
Right.
They do not understand distribution.
Right.
They do not understand publishing. They do not understand monetization. They do not understand, you understand what I'm saying? The real power of digital marketing, placement, and all of those things like that. So, you see, if you have the people and they don't understand, then, Junior, then where do we go? And then who understand it, a lot of the times, they get pushed to the side because it is not about culture. It's about it's about a job.
Yeah, it's about money, which comes down to the question of having monies and the allocation of funds for these performances. Like, for instance, Soca Monarch last year was, I mean, it was a tragedy. I'll put it like that. People didn't turn out. It didn't have, Soca Monarch need that rivalry, need that people want to come and see a clash of something. They want to see that hype of something. That was not there. Then well, I understand too, it was a kind of short year because he was uncertain as if there would be carnival. Boise didn't compete in competition because, he was pushing about, they should increase the prize money to $100,000, right? Is the money that is paid a catalyst to get artists and get people more into the vibe of actually producing and going to the studio and doing more work to represent their culture? Is that a big factor from where you sit as an artist?
That is a factor, Judge. But I would say this again: application. So when I say application, here it is. If you have a company, right, and you're running that company, you have tree planters who are supposed to go outside and they're planting trees and all of those things like that. Every time they plant trees, they're supposed to collect a 10 cents for the tree that they planted, right? And you not having any conversation. So there is an influx of business, of people coming in and stuff like that, and people are ordering these trees, and we planting trees, and we're seeing more people coming in and they're ordering trees, and we're still getting 10 cents for the tree. So you as a company, you have a problem. So to get the seeds in the first place, seeds go up, all kind of thing happening in the back end that the tree planter is not seeing. Right? George, if there is a conversation to make the tree planter understand exactly what is happening, not the depth, you understand what I'm saying, of your company, but understanding what is happening in the back end, where with the seeds, whatever it is, you can actually show that to them. You know what? You might have tree planters that give you more trees for the 10 cents.
Yes.
You see? Because of how you handle the situation, how you handle people. But these tree planters, they can't come in the company. You don't want them, all they have to do is go and plant trees. They start to feel like slaves. So automatically the application that you have start making people feel like slaves to your system. So they start to fight. Give me more money, otherwise I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Because it's not just about the money, but it's also the relationship.
Yes.
It is not nurtured, brother. And I keep saying that over and over. And
the relationship.
Sometimes you get upset because this is so hard to build that simple bridge. It is so difficult for us to do. And that is why I have to keep saying that a lot of the times it's not about building the culture or creating that stage for the culture or that wing for the culture to really fly. It is just a job. You see what I'm saying? So I am hoping that we get to that stage where we really and truly find the people who, you know, love that culture, who feels the culture and understand that culture is not an external thing, that culture is internal. Each and every one of us is the expression of culture in itself. And among us, there is culture men who live it, breathe it, sleep it, you see, and wake with it every single day. So there is a way to fix this.
Yeah.
And it's lying right there. And that is what does get you upset, is that it is right there and they refuse
Mm-hmm.
to take that road.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, you're watching Right Along Live. You know, we have a lot to discuss, right? A whole lot to discuss. We're going to be talking to things about culture, about what's happening now on the ground in terms of, you know, the rise in violent crime. We see in St. Lucia what's happening there, a lot of gun violence. Even in Grenada, we're seeing an upsurge in gun violence. We're hearing about gangs. We're hearing about all these things, guys. And it's hampering our tourism product, which is the small island of Grenada, the beautiful island of Grenada. We're going to talk to Killa about that as well, including we're going to speak about what's happening now on the ground politically and how does all of this stuff affect culture, crime, and everything else. So we have a lot to discuss, guys. I know you guys come for one thing only, but unless you want to go and come back, we're talking the things from top to bottom, and that's how the conversation is going to go, all right? All right, so we spoke about culture. Killa, anything else? Because I know the Spice Mass Corporation probably listening. I know the powers that be probably listening. We probably have politicians that's listening, quite possibly. What advice do you want to give them before we move on to the topic of culture in fixing, improving, advancing the culture on the island?
A tree does not grow from its root. From its branches. A tree grows from its root.
Right.
It does not grow from its branches. It grows from the root. And we have to have a level of togetherness. You see? From the foundation, from the root, so we can actually grow big and grow strong. At the bottom there, we are separated, where the foundation is supposed to be.
Right.
We are yet separated. And it's not like, I don't feel like we don't know that. We know that everybody on the outside complains about it. Everybody will say, yeah, I think they're already, yet some people don't understand what is happening. They're just on the outside, so they go say whatever, you know what I mean, they feel. But people will say, boy, what? Meet me and say, Killa, I have this conversation almost every day. Killa, so what happening, boy? Da, da, da. Because the Grenadian people wants and knows that their culture is big, it is powerful, it is strong. You understand? I am Grenadian. What is my position right now as a soca artist in the world? Huh? What have I accomplished as a Grenadian? And still, Grenada have not used me in the way that they're supposed to. I in Jamaica use more than Grenada use.
And that's a sad reality, yeah? That is a sad reality.
You check. I use different places more than So they have not used me even as a marketing tool. You see? At this point, I am one of the most popular soca artists in the world. Not in the Caribbean, no, in the world. You see? Recorded now as the #1 performer out of the Caribbean in the world as a soca artist. That is Grenada title. That is not mine alone. Still yet the only outsider. Grenada, you know, is the only island that leave from where it is, going to Trinidad and Tobago, international soca monarch after 40-something years, and gone with the title.
Run with it.
Grenada do that.
Yeah.
Grenada is the place that's responsible for jab sound, music that is spreading like wildfire. What are we doing about those things? So there is a missing link, you know, at the foundation that we need to actually settle. And a lot of the times when people listen to this conversation, you know what they do? They take it personal because they don't have the heart and the mind, you understand, that is really and truly connected to the culture. Because I will tell you something, brother, and that's why I didn't do Trinidad Carnival. It is bigger than just the hype. I don't follow hype. I just take my time and stay in a corner, and when I come in, I come in, brother. You see? Because I just follow the fire of my ancestors. Former.
Yeah.
You see? Fire of my ancestors. That energy. And right now, that energy in Soca about to shift. You're about to shift up the upper islands. You see what I'm saying? And Grenada, if we know it, we have to make sure that we are prepared for that shift and where it is going. Because we are strong in it. You see? So you have to have that kind of vibe, that kind of vision, that kind of sight. You have to be able to follow culture, because culture is like the wind too. There is new vibes and energy is floating around. If you're not living it and breathing it, then you cannot feel it. You get left behind.
Yeah.
You are saying it is deeper than just the basic business application.
Has culture, in your eye, right? Has culture been used as a kind of political football?
A lot of the times.
Because here's the reason why I ask that too, right?
A lot of the times, Judge. A lot of the times.
Go ahead.
And as I say, I don't even want to get too much into politics and those things like that, because I will tell you plain. Right now, culture in itself will always remain. Politics does shift and change. Politics will be there too. But you have politicians that will come and go and leave culture there. I just want somebody to wake up and realize how important culture is. How important it is. How much children with talent that are not getting the chance to express their talent. And they might not be the brightest person in school. They might not be the fastest reader. But they might be the best entertainer. You see? You check. And that is the things. And it goes across the board with sports and all of those things. So we are losing, and that is where I really want to talk about. One of my biggest topics today, you know that. Today, I want to speak about our youth. You see? And culture. How much artists in Grenada is, I would say, under 35, under 40 years old? How much of them? You see? Young, we have a very large number of young artists.
Yeah.
You see? And they have to struggle, George. They have to fight. There is no real workshops and no real expression to really help them build and to help them navigate and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? There is no education. So we are losing some of our youths that's supposed to be culture men and women to the street. George, I have a big problem. And this is, as I said, I don't even want to stick too much. Let us speak about the youth. I really, really want to go there, because this is one of the problems that I see, brother. And it is painful to sit there and witness this. This is what I really want to talk about this evening. If we build the infrastructures, if we literally open those gates, then we have more youth. We could save more of them, Junior. Brother, this is a painful conversation for me. Some people just only talk about Grenada and say they love Grenada and they love this and they love that. I'm from Guelph, and you will see a lot of successful people from Guelph, and most of the time they don't really stay Guelph. They will move, because Guelph is not, I would say, the easiest place to deal with. We have a very tough and a very rough culture. You see? But I decided I want to stay in my community. I travel a lot, I spend time other places, but I go back to my community.
Right.
And I'm building things and I'm trying, in my community. But there is a new expression from the youth that I am seeing that is dangerous for our future. And nothing go off alone in Grenada and a whole. An excessive use of drugs, excessive use of alcohol, you see? And gambling is a new trend.
And guns. And we could talk about that, need a whole segment.
Well, so now there is a certain type of lawlessness that is happening, brother, that we need to nip, you see, because we're talking about the youth of tomorrow. The youth of tomorrow right now has an expression, and I spoke to them in the pandemic. I said, I talking about at government level, we had the conversation, and I said there will, after the pandemic, we're going to have a real pandemic. You understand, which is the fragmentation of the minds of the youth. I mentioned that. But I looking for some of the ministers that I spoke to back then in the pandemic who was making big rules and regulations, and I spoke to them. I said, what are we going to do about the youths after this? Because they're out of school, they're not doing anything, they're up and down, they're running, they're building new mindsets. Because you have to understand, the mind is like a garden, a flower garden, or a piece of land. If you have a piece of land and you don't cultivate it, what you think would happen? Weeds will grow. If you don't plant fruits, weed will grow. So does the mind. You don't have to teach a child to lie. A little baby. They do so and they throw down something they bring. They say, who throw down that? I don't know. You take that, they take $1. You take $1? No, not me. I ain't take $1. You don't have to train them to lie. So that means you always have to keep training the mind to do the right thing, because it is so easy to do the negative.
Yes.
So after the pandemic, there's supposed to be a big approach, a huge approach for the youth to get back into a mindset of productivity. And I haven't seen that. It's like we leave them by the roadside. You see? It's like we leave them by the roadside. So what I am seeing now is this. This is the problem I have. I am literally watching 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds just gather gambling. And I'm talking about it because I'm not here for no likes. I don't want no likes. I have enough likes on Instagram and Facebook. I don't want no, this is not about likes. Because I know this conversation, some of them know who they are too. Because I literally had to get out of myself and approach them and approach it on the corner right by me too. You understand? Is mother so and so and this and that. The youth have no respect no more for the elders. What are we doing about that? So we just gonna lead them go astray? You see? No, we just talk about, and I want to make this statement now to the police, to the police force, the police officers. We need a certain type of relationship with the community. Grenada is not only about when somebody commit a crime or somebody get a tip on about some weed or something, some drugs. The man have a bag of weed and then the police move like it's the greatest emergency. But right now we in an emergency where we're supposed to build a bridge for education, a bridge that becomes a attitude that is a buffer between society and, you understand, an authority. You check? Because Grenada don't need no Rambo style. Don't wait until the youth and them turn, you understand, criminal. Because when I listen to some of the conversation, it's only about buying guns. And don't feel like it's not there to buy. You can buy it. You check? So it's nothing about, it's nothing constructive when you listen to certain conversations. And I am telling you, some of them might be my little fans. But really and truly, they having a good life, George, is more important to me. I don't need no likes. You understand? So I come to burn it out. We have to burn out the attitude. And some of them youth man out there are talented. They are full of talent. Some of them are intelligent, they are smart, and I'm watching their life go down the drain. You see what I'm saying? Judges still have things that I wish that I have done. You understand? Even though I'm so successful, I know that I could have done more because I myself did waste some time. You know, I get caught in the gutter, age of 15, 16, you know, stuck on the streets in New York. But that was my lessons. At least my mother instilled some very important values that actually kept me together. And one of the greatest was for me to know the Almighty Father, the Almighty God. You see? And I know that even though there is not a man there to see me, that the Father always see you. And the universe will always remember what you do. And what you exert is what you will receive. What you give is what you get. You see? And a lot of them, sometimes it's just simple knowledge that they need, but children making children, and then who is actually schooling those children that has children?
Yes.
Where is the big approach? Because as I keep saying, during the in the pandemic, some people were, I know about Killa, we're letting go and this and that. Is not about that, because you see, you have some people who have the ability to see a little bit in the future. I could have literally, I spoke about this not now, Judge. I'm speaking about this. I said this in the pandemic. I say, after the pandemic, give us a little while, and we're going to see the attitude that we built in that time expressing itself.
Yes.
A certain type of lawlessness. Years ago, about 8 years ago, I said, just now, it's a matter of time. Then it's gun crimes. You see? Now here it is. Them time the people listening to me like if I was a madman. Then tell me now. Because it's the same thing. I could go back for the recording. You know?
Yeah.
The other day I come on the road, and when I start talking, you know, one of the man come outside the house. He say, yes, Killa. Oh God, thank you so much. You see? I had to come out because there is nobody coming to deal with it. So I had to come out in my neighborhood, and I don't want to deal with nobody with anger. I love the youths. I want to see them do something good. So it's painful, it's hurtful to come outside and see youths just spending the whole time, wasting their time. I'm talking about, you know, sometimes whole day. You just watch them just smoking weed, just gambling.
Killa, one thing that you said there, when you spoke about the police, here's a problem that I have. I don't know if you saw this as well. The police and them, they don't patrol anymore.
Nah, I haven't seen that. I don't see that in a while. I don't know why. I see wardens patrolling, you know, but I don't know. I don't see patrol. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the other day I had to feel like if I had to police my neighborhood. You see? He like how the police my neighborhood, and George, I get up and do it because you know what? As I tell you, it's not about no likes. Some people afraid to come out and talk because you know they want likes about somebody like me or somebody this and that. You understand? It's not about that. You know what I want to like? I want to like that when I bring my friends to my beautiful island, Grenada, the Spice Island, the gem of the Caribbean. That they are blown away by the peace, by the love, by the warmness of the people, by the intelligence of the youth, by the expressions of our culture. You understand? And I dream of those things. I dream of that. Grenada. So let's just have this conversation. A lot of the times people don't have conversation, and I doesn't want to get into that type of conversation because most people can't even follow the conversation. But there might be a few people on here who could understand what I'm saying. Let's talk about Grenada, because a lot of people that speak about Grenada, they don't understand Grenada. Conception Island, the beautiful island, you see, that they claim was discovered by who? By the men from the East a long time before Christopher Columbus and all of those men. The Africans was here. You see? Our foreparents was already here. Beautiful Grenada. You know why? Because there is a channel from West Africa that leads straight into Grenada. Now, on the earth is an electrical sphere. The earth is a living organism. And that living organism that the earth is, there is an energy called the Kundalini energy, the Kosnam energy, Kamati, the Makaba, however you want to call it. And there is like a grid that goes around the planet, and it falls in different places, right off of the equator and different places. You see? Now, when one of those energy is placed in your country, there is healing. There is a certain type of vibration. There is a possibility that your people could grow into right brainers and function a certain type of way. Geographical placement give you different expression, you see, and different diversities of gifts. Just like how the soil is different in some places, it gives you different plants. Just like the polar bear and the black bear, they're both bears, but they don't eat the same food. They don't behave the same way. The panda bear eat bamboo, but they're bears. You see what I'm saying? So the same way as people, our geographical placement give us different type of expressions in life. Okay? So Grenada, let's look at Grenada. What is Grenada? What is Grenada to us? So in spirituality, there is numbers. So in the language that we speak, inside of the language, there is languages. And every system, I keep saying this, every system has been designed after the systems of nature. So you have a pack of wolves in nature. That pack of wolves is run by the alpha male. You have the pack of languages. A pack of languages run by the alphabet. You see? Now, inside the languages, we language of war, language of law, language of sacred geometry, and language of spirituality. In spirituality and sacred geometry, numbers is used all the time. Let's look at Grenada in its number, form, and placement. Off of the equator, Grenada is 12 degrees north. Right? 61 degrees west. Let's look at the first number, George. 12 gives you what? In numerology or spirituality, 12, each number stands on its own. So 12 gives you 3. The Trinity. You see? Now 61 gives you what? 7. Listen to my conversation, you know. So if you go to Grenada and there is about 5 or 6 people that can tell you this, you find a lot. Because we don't look at things at its depth. They give us a type of phony kind of education. Right. So when we look at education and somebody go to university, you feel that person, because they go to university, that they can really save you. And they could really save the country because they go to university and they've been taught this and they've been taught that. When really and truly, Mama Earth is calling for a different application for you to really grow as a people.
Right.
Because nature is the real mother.
This what you're saying there is so deep. I want to kind of save it a little bit because I know how deep you would get with, especially when you come to the numerology. But I don't want to bypass the current situation that we have as it relates to crime. I want to dive a little bit deeper.
No, but let me finish. And that's where I'm going now. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
So you have the 12, which gives you 3. You have the 61 that gives you 7. Now, this is 2 of the most powerful numbers. You understand? And you take those numbers, George, and you put, now you give you 7 and you give you 3. 7 and 3 is how much? 7 and 3 give you 10.
Yes.
Right? Now, in spirituality and numerology, numbers, 0 is not a number. So what Grenada becomes? Is only the 1 left.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Grenada becomes 1 in its calculation. In its geographical calculation and spirituality. Grenada gives you 1, brother. Do you know how powerful is that? So people, so the Africans, whoever it is, travel to our place, they know that, but we don't know that because they don't teach us those type of things. Right. So that's why in the OCS and things before, Grenada was leading way ahead. You check? And I feel like there is an operation just to keep us in the stoop. I wonder sometimes, because I cannot believe that there is so much ways and application to make certain things simply better on the ground. So Grenada need to handle with a certain type of love and a certain type of attention. Otherwise, we go astray. And this is what is happening now. So crime has been kind of exploding in a way. You know, we don't want to talk about it like we bad like some other countries and some other island, but we don't even want it.
True.
We don't want it. Grenada sweet. Grenada, one thing Grenada have above most countries in the world is its safety.
Yes.
Is its warmness.
Yes.
But now the youths don't save money in the afternoon no more. Now the youths feel it's okay to Lego the biggest cuss word in front of the elders. It's okay. You understand what I'm saying? To buy guns. It is okay now to just, you know what I mean, express. And it's an abusive society that we're growing, because anybody feel like they could just tell anybody anything these days. Anybody could just jump on you. They go on social media. They could just abuse you. People just see you with something and they don't like it. Oh, your mother so and so is this and that is real. We are growing a very abusive culture.
Yeah.
And we have to do something about it. And nobody can tell me this, because I travel the world. We went Dubai. When you go in Dubai, you feel you can Lego any cuss words just so on the streets. You feel you could just go and just fight on the streets. You feel you could do all those things, this lawlessness. You feel you could just be gambling anywhere. No, somebody wake up and say, that cannot happen. Somebody wake up and fight and say, this is not acceptable. So who is saying that it is not acceptable? Who is now making that decision in our society to say those things are not acceptable?
Yeah. Nobody.
That is the question I want to ask. Who is going to make that decision? Elders supposed to be respected, Junior. I don't care what nobody say. And people are talking about, oh, but them children now is a new time we're living in. That is what you want to accept. That is what you want to accept. So mothers, when your children live in a home, you're supposed to train your children a certain way. When they reach outside, they still have respect for elders. Or when they reach outside, they could resist. You know, some of us, we make children, we don't make them mind. So I'm sorry for some parents. You see? We're sorry for some parents.
Well, the truth about it too, Killa, and I'm so happy that we're having this conversation. It's very important. We have to speak to our men. We have to speak to our brothers. Seriously. Because what we find happening, more than just the kid just want to misbehave, oftentimes you find two things. One, you have absent fathers in the home. The child is very frustrated and he acts out. Two, you have children that have been abused in the home, right? And they can't find any other way than to act out, right? So sometimes we could say, yes, let's blame the children, but we need to understand what's happening to the children.
Well, most definitely. You know, when I used to hear this much when I go to school, child care, yes.
Yes.
Child care, yes. Why we can't have that all the time?
True.
All I'm saying is the same application. Junior, I know children that grow without their father. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And are some of the best people. Strong. That still does not even hate their father. Love their father for what he has done. Give them to their mother. You see? So it's all about the teaching and the training of the mind. It does affect us. But if we are a community, you see, if we are a community, because there is young people that I talk to all the time, I build a little friendship with them and I talk to them like if I is their own brother or I their own father. You see? So if we have a community and a community approach, because they say it's not just a parent to grow a child, it's a community. And Grenada is 110,000 people.
Yes.
You see, everybody is supposed to know almost everybody.
Yes.
You check. But there is a type of lawlessness. If somebody talk to your child, oh, don't talk to my child. Oh, da.
We come back to the parents. That's why you come back to the parents again.
So it does, a lot of it does start with the parents, but you can't only blame the parents.
No, you can only blame the parents.
Because we have to check on ourselves too, because the parent is not there all the time. And some people make children, but they don't make their mind.
True.
So we definitely have to be able to infiltrate the mind of the youths and actually help them bear fruits.
Yes.
Brother. You see what I'm saying?
If you have a parent that is going on Facebook, going on social media, and exposing herself in many different ways, you see all of this stuff, she going on Facebook, he or she, not only women, he or she, and they cussing the most set of bad, but they have no respect for nobody, right? The child gonna see that as acceptable behavior. They ain't gonna change. When they go out the road, they go cuss people the same how they see their parents doing it.
Definitely, you know, they say monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
So we have to set the example. So there are those types of parents, most definitely. And you know what? In some countries, brother, when a minor do something, the parents have to pay. You know? So I bet you, if there is certain things like that in place, parents will make sure that they train the children a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Because they will have to hold their nose up all the time.
Yes.
You check it. We have beautiful young women that we are losing, you see, to drugs right now. That is sad, brother.
Yes.
Sad.
Now somebody said here, Alvin Tannis said, that's where the schools come in. No. I don't, listen. I think that discipline is supposed to start at home. Because if you don't get in that discipline at home and you go to the school, you go cost the teacher the same way. There are teachers that afraid students. So the teacher could try as best as possible, but the student will say, well, are you so and so? You're not my mother.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yes, the school plays a role. And people said oftentimes, oh, Killa, you're supposed to be an example. Junior George, you're supposed to be an example. I agree. Okay, we have a voice. We out here, we speaking. We have a microphone. But in a lot of these cases, we didn't sign up for this. We didn't sign up to replace the parents. The parents supposed to play the bigger role in this.
Yeah, the other day, I go outside. And I had to talk to youths like if there's, and watch me, let me show you. If you don't stand up a certain way, they disrespect you too, you know.
Yeah.
Them youth man will pull blade on you, you know. You hear what I'm telling you? So you have to make up your mind that when you go outside and you're talking to these youths right now, that anything could be anything, you know.
Anything is anything.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yes.
That is what we're dealing with at the moment. We're not talking about children no way thing and you talk to them and the thing away. You know? You understand what I'm saying? It's anything that is anything. And I asking them, man, so you want to wait until crime and those kind of conflicts that happen for us to really decide these things cannot happen in the society, in our society.
Yes.
Huh? You check? Like where I from, and I talk in plain because I tell you I don't need no likes. You can say whatever, you know, they want. Like where I'm from, you have gun battle, right? Mm-hmm. Gun battle is where big people who decide they might want to smoke the weed, they might, you understand what I'm saying? They chill, that is their place. They do that. But the problem is, the youth men now and the young ones who cannot go down there because a big man go say, yo, come out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Them gathering now in their own pockets, in different places, creating their own ghettos.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And then you have some of the bigger men who don't have sense sitting down and smoke with them.
Yeah, well, that's great.
So at the end of the day, brother, I have a great concern, and this is my concern for my youths.
Yes.
I love them. People just want to talk about this and they love this and they whatever it is. But they rather get likes and they rather somebody like them or yeah, they like me or whatever it is. And they don't talking, they don't say nothing. They're watching them dead. They're watching them go down the drain. You understand? I don't want no likes, brother. I'm tired with this whole thing. A matter of fact, the place about to go up in flame just now too. So then it's either we prepare and we stick together. You check what I'm saying? When I say those things, you know, people just feel like, oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But they just always come to see George. It's yes, not now. Always come to see, all before the pandemic, when I'm having those conversations. Oh, yeah, but them things cannot happen. Boom, it come. You see? So at the end of the day, we have things coming that we need to be together and stick together as a people.
Yes.
Done.
Yeah.
Be together, stick together as a people, grow the children in the right way. And we, as I tell you, are not going to witness it, brother, and don't come out. I not on that. I don't need that kind of likes, brother. I want to like that when I invite my friends to Grenada. It is one of the best places that there has ever been.
Right.
And I wish that every other Caribbean island could actually take suit. Look at what happened into some of the islands, brother. It's brutal. It's sad. As a people, when we going to stop fighting each other? When we going to stop looking at each other like dogs? You understand? And everything else is better than your own people. You know why? Because they train us to hate ourselves. They train us to look in the mirror and to be unsatisfied. They train us to look in the mirror and to call ourselves monkey. We train us to look in the mirror and to be defragmented from inside to outside, brother. Our spirit have been broken. Our minds have been infiltrated. Injection, you understand, from the colonialistic minds that has put us into this mental slavery, in this state that we don't know how to lift ourselves, how to look into the mirror and understand that we are beautiful, that we are the kings and queens. You understand what I'm saying? Of this planet, and our children should grow as princes and princesses. You see what I'm saying? We have our time when the carnival come and we express ourselves and the music and with this. Big people is big people and children is children. We have to have the separation, separate the sheep from the goat. You see? So, because a lot of people don't even love themselves. They don't even trust themselves. They don't even know themselves.
True.
That they can't trust you, they can't love you because they don't love themselves.
True.
You understand?
True.
So as a people, it starts with us. When you learn to love yourself, you can actually wake up and love somebody else.
Yes.
And I love the youth. Because when I look back at my journey, it's been tough. You're feeling this time, this youth's going through that because what they're seeing on television is success and a quick overnight success. It's not the truth. So all the young people out there who might be seeing this, you might not be the greatest reader. You might not be, the greatest speaker, but you might have a talent. Invest in your talent.
Yes.
Don't spend time, sit down on the block, wasting time with other people who are not you.
Yes.
You might be the chosen one and you're wasting your time. If I stay there, where would I have been? I had friends, me and them stuck together. But sometimes, pigeons and eagles just be liming together when they are chicks. But as they start to grow, somebody's wings will be bigger than somebody's own. Yeah. And somebody will fly at a different altitude. You have to know if you're an eagle or not. You see? And a lot of the times, eagles flies alone. So when you get bungled up in a group of people who only speaks nonsense, who only speak violence, who only speak crime, whose intention is to get high or drunk, then automatically your dream will die. You are poisoning your dream. So wake up in the morning and understand, for you to have what others don't have, you would sometimes have to do what others did not do.
True.
You see?
Gospel.
You have to do what others did not do. You have to spend the time others did not spend. You have to grind the grind others did not grind. You see? But when you get lazy in the mind, automatically you want to do what everybody else do, so you become a follower.
Yes.
When you have to clear the road, if nobody never passed it, and you have to clear the road, is you who have the cutlass in your hand, is you going to get the con. You see? Is you going to get the bruise and the little cut thing go hit you in your eye because you clearing the road.
Yes.
You see? But that pressure, remember this now. I remember what I say to you, young people. If you do what is easy now, your life would be hard later. But if you do what is hard now, your life would be easy later.
Wow. Wow.
You see?
I don't think anybody could say it better. I want to get some input, Killa, from our...
Junior, I need a bathroom break. 1 second.
No problem. Guys, I want to take your phone call. I saw a couple of you guys called in, and I couldn't bring you on because we was in the middle of a conversation. This is the opportunity to call right now. The number is 718-701-5720. This is that deep conversation about moving forward. Now, I mentioned this a few months ago, right? Because I'm not all about just talking and do action. I like to put things in action. I like to, speak about things and let it see it come. One of the problems that we're seeing right now is that there are too many guns on the streets. We're hearing gunshot firing on the Carnage, gunshot firing in Saigon, right? We're hearing about people getting shot. We're hearing about all this stuff. There are too many guns, accessible guns on the street. The way how to curb this crime is to get those guns off the street. One of the ways that I think, right, personally, that I could make a difference, and I'm willing to partner with anyone who share this vision, is to get these guns off the street, whether it's through the police or whatever. I think that we should, at the stage right now, that we should set up some kind of cash for guns drive. Because a lot of times, if you give these individuals, right, option, they most likely would choose the right one. They don't have an option right now. It's something that I'm seriously considering on doing, raising some funds so that I could have a cash for guns project or whatever it is, right? $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 for anyone who brings in a gun off the street. One gun off the street, guys, could save about 100 lives. And in a small community like Grenada, it could probably save even more. This is something that I've been thinking about. This is something that I'm really serious about pushing, but it takes a lot of components, it takes a lot of parts, it takes a lot of coming together. It takes funding, it takes money. And some people, again, they talk, but they don't like to put their money where their mouth is. But I know right along is different. So we will be calling on you guys, because once the RGPF and once the powers that be said this is something that they're interested in, I am willing to start some type of fundraiser to raise $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 so we could proceed with this Cash for Guns initiative to get as much guns as possible off the streets. If we get 100 guns, we're singing hallelujah, we're having 2 carnival. Trust me. Because 100 guns mean that we probably would have saved about over 1,000 people's life in a short space of time. Killa, while I was away, I was talking about this because I think it's important that we don't just talk about change. We actually make change happen. Let me take this call. We got a call on the line. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
Hey, Junior. Good evening.
Hey, how are you doing,
calling from Grenada.
Yes.
I'm good. And good evening to me, to HM, my favorite artist. Junior, I don't believe that nobody should be paid to bring in a firearm. Those illegal firearms, I should be specific. Because, listen, having an illegal firearm, Junior, it only says that someone knows that it is wrong to have a firearm and they're not trained to use it. They have no right to use it. And the reason why they don't have a license is because they have no good use for that firearm. So it's a good gesture at the same time, but nobody should be paid to bring in an illegal gun. I watched a show with Ninja Man. That was many, many years ago, Junior.
Right.
I don't know if it was staged or what. When Ninja Man brought in a gun, some people said it was a gun. Some people said it wasn't a gun. Some people said it was staged.
Right.
However it was, that was the right way to do it.
Yes.
So,
your phone kind of breaking up.
I know that I'm.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I know that I'm going in and out. Yeah, I don't support the name Killa, even though HM has explained the real meaning of the name Killa. Now I understand what he said then, and I kind of see with it in a way. But the kind of aggressive youths that we have growing up now, Junior, I only wish if HM could change that name Killa. Yes, it's not spelled K-I-L-L-E-R, but from the way we speak, we pronounce it Killa.
Right.
And I think there was some country many years ago, Junior, HM had a problem with that name. And I think that is where he had to change it from K-I-L-L-E-R to K-I-L-L-A. Right. I can't remember if it was spelled like that then. But, I figure that no.
Yeah.
HM needs to be given a good, a good recognition in Guafton, along with Kirani. to help the situation in Guam
Right.
and in Grenada and the world, because these are two very young, successful national heroes that we have.
Right. Okay, Carl, let
So
me
I
first.
think this present administration, together with the police force, should work together in getting this done.
Right.
Thank
Okay.
you, Junior.
Cool. Thank you. On the question of my idea to eliminating firearm off the street, I believe, and this project has been done before in other countries, right? Getting or providing cash or incentives like cash for guns will most definitely see a decrease in the amount of guns that's available. That's on the street. Some folks saying, well, let us look at where the guns are coming from in the first place. There are many different ways that guns are coming into the country. They're coming in barrels. The other day, we saw what happened at the port where there was a treasure trove of guns that came in, and we were a small island, guys, right? There are ports all over. There are jetties, there are sea. The police can police the whole territory, Carriacou, Grenada, and every place else. So guns are getting in. I think that we need to first get the guns off the street, and two, put stricter penalties for anyone caught with a firearm. Strict, I mean, not no slap on the wrist, some strict measures. Killa, what's your thoughts on first the cash for guns measure idea, and then implementing more of a rigid, more even as a stricter penalty for anyone caught with firearm?
Well, I mean, first thing I want to say thanks to the caller that called, a while ago. I really appreciate, his contribution. Now, things like that, when it comes to the society that we are living in, somebody might not want to bring in the fire because I guess that's much they get it for a reason. But as the caller said, you don't have a license firearm simply because you are not qualified then to carry that firearm.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times, people who may have firearm have violent intentions. George, I travel the world, right? I've been fascinated with gun sports since I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I travel the world. I have friends that are, I'm a part of different teams that does firearm activities, you understand, throughout the United States and different places. And only because I feel like the whole gun situation, that I don't post too much of it. Now and then I might post on the range or here, wherever it is. But it's something that I do excessively a lot. And we do it as a sport. I'm talking about from together with military, ex-military, this and that and stuff like that. And my intention when I wake up in the day is never to approach anyone with violence, in a violent way, in a violent manner, or to use a firearm in any violent way. So it also first begins with your mindset.
Right.
So I remember you had some youth that I came across, and I hear them in conversation. They want to think on guns and this and that way, and they want to buy guns and this and that. And they started to come around by me, and the radio station was there. And next thing I hear, they want to buy a laptop.
Right.
Because they found some sort of incentive in the creativity and where they can go with it.
Yes.
So it all begins in the mindset. But when you speak about the cash for guns, if somebody report there is illegal firearm or whatever it is, and you have those kind of programs running, it works.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I'm not saying I'm not saying, a call will just come in. I'm not saying that the person with the firearm may always be the person who turned in the firearm, right? I've seen this work in Jamaica, Killa. I've seen this work around the world. And I think it's our first initiative. Now, it has to be combined with other things. Now, there's a difference between someone who's legally carrying a firearm and someone who is legally carrying a firearm. I believe if you have people who are legal firearm owners, they could deter the possible next crime. or the parcel next somebody trying to rob somebody in a bank or something like that, because they could take care of it. I'm talking about an initiative, a plan, or at least some sort of plan to get the firearm off the street before it becomes even more uncontrollable. Something needs to be done. We might have a girlfriend.
And as you mentioned, like legal firearms and stuff like that. Even you carrying a legal firearm, there is conduct. There is order and conduct. You understand what I'm saying? For that also. You see? Not because, oh, you and somebody arguing. Most of the times you have any firearm problem or some gun issue, it's not somebody that has a legal firearm. Most of the time somebody that has a legal firearm has no confrontation.
Right.
The people who have legal firearm most of the time have no confrontation, have nothing happening, they're not in any violent manner, and that is why they can actually carry one. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we have to understand the society that we live in, and the things that are just completely not accepted.
Yeah.
That is what. You see what I'm saying? You have men, let's be realistic. Let's have a real conversation here. Mm-hmm. There is men in Grenada who is not legal firearm holders, and they have the firearm, but they never in no problem. In the back of their mind, they never know when Grenada go have another revolution, so they had a thing.
Yeah, but I think that the way to look at it is to
understand what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Understand what I'm saying. You have men where sit down and maybe gone from since the revolution, and they don't harass nobody. They're not in that. They're not going to go and have no problem. So this is a whole different issue. You understand what I'm saying? This is a whole different issue. You see, this issue is the mindset of the young youths now who are looking forward to buy firearms for some petty robbery, or they out hanging and they want some sort of rank and somebody trouble them and they want to retaliate violently. You see what I'm saying? That's a whole different mindset, because I believe Grenada always have guns. We had a revolution. Thousands of guns everywhere. I sure there are some old man sitting on some real bad machine gun in Grenada. You understand what I'm saying? So it is not about just the gun.
Right.
It's the type of culture that we are now seeing, a type of expression that we are now seeing, and a violent approach, and a very abusive society that we are growing.
Right.
You see? So that is a whole different problem.
Right. Let's take a quick call. We got another caller on the line here. Caller, your line, where are you calling us from?
Hi, good evening, Jenny. I'm calling from Boston.
All right, let's get your audio a little bit. Hold on, let me just fix this a little bit more, because the connection just dropped off. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Junior. I'm calling from Boston.
Yes, I'm at a hold of the phone. Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening, my cousin. How are you?
Bless her, good evening. Bless her, good evening, Desi. How you doing?
Off the show, you started with Spice Mass, right?
Yes.
I think Spice Mass is a big joke. The reason why I'm saying this is because I heard a commercial on the radio with Spice Mass advertising the upcoming launch. And in the background, the song that was playing was Bungie Garlin. If you are promoting Spice Mass, why not play a Grenadian artist song in the background? Make it make sense for me, please. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You know, she asked you to make it make sense, and not me.
Yeah. Well, me. No, I believe, well, if it's Spice Mass Grenada Carnival, it should be promoting Grenada. But you know, the person who did the song probably looking for something hype to create a vibe. I don't know. Because you go in parties in Trinidad, and sometimes they play in Killa song too.
That's a party. That's the launch of carnival.
Okay. I mean, she does have a point. It should showcase Grenada Carnival. You know, I think that's the right approach. right? While I'm on the topic, I have to say this because it's important that I let people know that the Spice Mass launch is going up. Killer, I have to say this. Spice Mass launch in Grenada is on the 20th of April. Make sure you guys patronize that. I'm not going to play no Bunji Garlin song in the background, but I got to tell you this. The 28th of April, Spice Mass launch in Grenada. And they're also having a Spice Mass launch here in New York. It's called the Diaspora Launch. It's on May 7th. For more information, click that link right there, or just point at that QR code. Spice Mass launch in New York and Spice Mass launch in Grenada. It's going to be a blast. All right. Okay. Yes, there we go. I guess that is the most sense I could make it. I took the opportunity and I make it make sense. Eh? Hey.
Junior, you know, that one I don't even want to see nothing because they go and see what I don't see. You know what I mean? You know, Bunji is my G, so you know what I mean? I don't want them to go and see what I don't see, but
yeah. But okay, Killer. So it's important, very, very important that we pound this in hard. We need to do something. The powers that be need to do something to ensure that the youths have other extracurricular activities that they could do. They could have mentors, things that they could do to take their mind off or take their time off thinking about or being in a position where they're getting involved in crime, right? So let's take some specifics, things that we could do, things that the authorities need to do right now to help the youths.
Well, first and foremost, you need to actually make sure that your community is running properly, that there is order in your community, you know, first and foremost. Then there is, you know, I think we need bigger projects with parents and things like that. There also supposed to be some sort of program in place that when there are minors out there doing things that is, I mean, endangering their life and the community and things like that, that we find the parents and either find a program that they have to be a part of or some kind of things. We have to teach each other. This is not about no wait until a youth do something wrong and then we come in with Rambo style and stuff like that. I feel sorry for the youth because some of them, they don't know better. I still just wake up every single day and I listen to motivational speeches. You know, there is things I still read, you know, to still feed my mind. You check? So if I am doing that on my road of my little success, if I feel like I need that because I have the sense and I know that I still need that, you see? So I could always be beating and pounding the positive energy into my mind so I could bear more fruits. Not every youth outside, they understand that. You see, until that time, we have to keep pushing and teaching them as much as we could. And as I say, we have to come out of these things where we're looking for some likes in the community. So we're afraid to open our mouth and talk and say, yo, youth, or you're not going in the right way, you know. You see, this is not the right way. You can't do this. This is unacceptable. This is a community. You see what I'm saying? So there is a lot to be done. We're not having some of the meetings we're supposed to have, Judge.
Yeah.
Judge, and the whole conversation today, you know, either man, you know, either man, I just want to say exactly how I feel and have the right conversation. But when you start to express yourself, you know, some people just want to take it and make it political and this and that and
everything is politics.
No,
everything.
Powers may be. I am asking you a small favor. A small favor. Launch whether it is coverted, launch a project on finding the people who care. You see? Finding the people who care. Because there is some people in society, there is some people in different community who has the ability to help you. You see? And a lot of the times, we just pass on those opportunities to gather the troops. You see? And there is soldiers there waiting to help you fight the battle. Because we are one people. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So people like to wait to make it political. When I talked the last time, with the administration and stuff like that. Any administration doing anything wrong, I talking.
Yes. Yeah.
Just, so this is, don't make me, I am Grenadian 473, eyes green and gold to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Here where I coming from. Because that's why we just need time when I start. Because here where I coming from. I am a Grenadian. You see? And I understood at a young age what a Grenadian is. So that is why I fight. A Grenadian is not no soft man. A Grenadian is the priest. A Grenadian is the warrior.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So where I coming from is an angle that sounds like this. This is my angle, so people could understand better. I saw a sail in the horizon. It was beautiful, big sail. I say, oh my gosh, what is that? How magnificent it looked. But as it drew closer, at the edge of the beast, I saw a man standing. But there was a sudden look in their eyes. A look that got me worried for a moment. And as they come closer and their feet touch the water of my beautiful shoes, I realized they was not here for no good. I saw terror in their eyes. And my family, my friends started running. And as they run, they fell by the hands of those brutal men. And they screamed and they cried. They threw them overboard precipice that they now call burial grounds, claiming that they leaped by themselves. And as time passed, they fought among themselves. And then they fought the others. And then the other sails came. And then there was more war. Sad for a long time as blood sipped into my soil. But there came a time when there was a great uprising. And then they fled. And then there was new children of the soil. And among them, there was a son. His name was Bishop. He came to actually make change. He came to stand strong, to sink his boots into the soil and decide that we would go into the right direction one more time. But they came back. They did not came with boats this time. They came with a plane. They came with this big iron bird. They infiltrated the minds of our people, his friends and foes. He actually became the enemy. And they took him from us. Once again, we went into the stoop. And I have been waiting for so long to rise again. We was right brainers when he was walking among these shores. We was right brainers. We was thinking at a different level. Our application was different. We was industrializing. There was industries. Our hands was working the soil, but not for the master anymore. Our hands was working to feed our family and our children. Greatness was on the horizon. We could have tasted it. We could have seen it. We could have feel it. It was in our blood. You see? But then, here we are, waiting for that spirit to rise again. I am nutmeg. I am eyes green and gold, the spirit of Grenada. You see, for we saw it all. For what my ancestors have felt, we have felt. It is living in my blood. I am a Grenadian judge. Something got unlocked. So whether I popular, whether I famous, or all of those things, I cannot leave Grenada behind and make it worse from go off. You understand? So I can't leave the Grenada behind. Something I don't know. I don't know what it is. Because every time I say run away, boy, run away, just leave. You have access into different worlds where there is fancy things. You see? Go, boy, just leave. Cock up your foot, man. Go swim in pool. You know, travel the world. Go play with the toys. You have sit down in Atlanta and in the New York and in those places. Go, you know what I mean? But I can't. I only do those things for a little while, but I go back home because I love my country.
Mm-hmm.
Grenada is paradise. You see? Grenada is paradise, and a lot of these youths do not understand that when they reach in countries abroad, it is not the same. It's until they become like slaves. You see? In those places, then they realize how beautiful Grenada really is. We have to shape our country so the future, do what is hard now, so our future will be a little easier. Instead of doing what is easy now, and then our future will be hard. NNP, NDC, that does not make much difference for me. Is who going to do the right thing? Is who going to do the job? A matter of fact, when we're asking who going to do the job, you know who's supposed to do the job? All of us together.
Mm-hmm.
When NDC win the election, it's simply because the people say, I give you a chance to take me where we dream of going. When NNP win, it's because the people say, I give you a chance to take me where we dream of going. So when NDC win, why NNP do help or try to help navigate where we're supposed to go? When NNP win, why NDC do help NNP win? That's how I see it in my mind. But politics is not that way, because politics is not just for betterment. You understand? Politics a lot of the times is for personal gains.
Personal gains, yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So that's why when sometimes people lose an election, like you have some ministers now, ministers of health, and all of those ministers, where them that was making all the rules and regulation, and you care so much about the country. How come after election, a lot of businesses, a lot of different things, where is the contribution? Where is the foundation? Where is the thing that is in place? Where is the meetings? Where is the collaboration? Where is the conversation? You understand? That means you was only political for your personal gain. You don't care one thing about the community.
Yeah.
You
They
see?
was getting paid. They was getting
Yes,
paid.
but look at it here. Look, I'm still here talking.
Yeah,
I'm
we're still here. We're still here. We're still here.
Huh? We're still here fighting for the youths. We're still here fighting for the way them. You're not a minister anymore. So you know what? Your job is done. You're gone. You get what you want. Pocket full. You're nice. You see? You understand? And as I say to them all the time, you know, I will always be Mr. Killa. I will always be artist. Well, as the man say, HM, I'll always be Hollis Map. You understand? I'll always be that artist that will be here. Whether my life ends tomorrow in the next 2 weeks, that is God's choice. But as long as I breathe, I will always fight for my country.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But some of them, they will only play they're fighting for the country when they're in power. They don't love nothing but me and you.
Yeah.
You check? Some of them don't like the skin that they're in. So they will never like yours. Me and yours. You see? This is time for this whole thing to change. It's a different approach, a different application. You know? So administration, I ask you, please, find the people who care. Because we need them now more than ever. The time about to change. There are some things coming right around the corner. Don't feel the year is going to end. It's right there. It's coming. And we have to prepare. We have to be ready. You see? So this whole conversation, when we sit down and we're talking, the youth who have the mind and strong and want to buy the guns and stuff like that is because some of those youths too deep down inside there is warrior, but you need to give them something to fight for. They need to understand what to really fight for. And they don't know what to fight for. You don't give them nothing to fight for. So automatically they are using that strength, that power, because they're Grenadians and they're revolutionary. You see? So now they use it wrongly. When really and truly is a unique strength that they have. And all they need is the right teaching, the right guidance. You see, to express themselves properly in this community that we live in. We just talk about the world and this. We have our country. We have to mind with business and make it grow. We have to mind with business and make it grow. And the other day, there was one minister, I think that from the NNP administration that started to help the NDC minister in our constituency. And I heard of that, and brother, it almost brings tears to my eye. You see, it almost brings tears to my eye. Think about the experience, the knowledge, the mind of the Honorable Dr. Kit Mitchell. Think about his capabilities, his brilliance, huh? And think about the Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Think about a conversation about Grenada, the application. I'm not talking about publicly, I'm talking about behind closed doors. As from younger to elder and from elder to younger as man, with no grudge, but with understanding. There are going to be differences and different vision, but I'm sure there are value in both of them. Think about that. Huh? What a country.
Yeah. Unity is strength.
But we don't like that.
And we don't
we don't like that because we like to see dog fight. We don't care about how much bite the dog get. We don't care about all of that. We just like to see the dog fight. That's what they train us. Fight with one another.
Yes.
You check? You guys are dogs, so just fight with one another.
Yes.
And they stick together.
Yes.
They conquer us because of their unity.
Yes.
And we are still being conquered because of our foolishness.
Divide and conquer is deep within our ancestral roots. The people in Africa was told not to collaborate with those who left, and the people who left, or the people who was taken, was told don't go back to Africa. Divide and conquer was the rule, but it's still in play today. The politicians, Killa, you're so right. The politicians don't care about us. The politicians don't care. They care about themselves. They care about if they don't get a diplomatic passport. And the people who are on radio and television that is trumping up this rivalry, the only reason why they're so upset is because they lost the perks coming in the airport and having to go through regular. They missed the perks of having the opportunity to go through priority line.
Judge, the thing is, some people will have friends, and a lot of the times you look out for your friends. Listen what I'm saying. Nobody is saying no. You have to defend the people who defend you. You see?
Yes.
Because for an army to conquer its enemy, he needs to know who he's fighting with.
Right.
Then he needs to know who is his soldiers. You see? So you have to make sure your army right. And then you conquer the enemy. But the problem is what we see as the enemy.
Yeah.
We are fighting ourselves.
Yes.
So the problem is not about taking care of your friend. The problem is not about making sure that you stand strong. The problem is that you're making sure you alone and your friend alone stand strong. After you gather your army, because that if you have a team and that team, the players are weak, then they cannot play properly. So when you gather your team, what is the job of your team? That is what we does not get right. You understand? So a lot of the times politics happen, politicians come, and then they feed friend, feed themselves, and then to hell be with everything else, everybody else.
Yes.
The application is this. Anywhere you go and there is a team, there is a strong team, you have to make sure your team's strong.
Mm-hmm.
When the team's strong and your team gather together, what is the mission? The mission is to make sure that your country is now strong.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that your legs and your arms are exercised properly. You see, and your approach and the application is emphasized properly. You see, so at the end of the day, it's not about, oh, yeah, that man put that man in that position, whatever it is. You have to make sure that your team players is also in the right position, because there is people in position that cannot play the position.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You see? That is the problem. So, as they say, square pegs,
Yeah.
wrong hole.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Square pegs, wrong hole. So, the application is there. We know it. Gather your team. Make sure your team right. Make sure your team strong. After your team gets strength, you don't know. Touch road. Yeah. And crush the real enemy. What is the real enemy? The real enemy is lack of education. Lack of jobs. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to make the right decision. That comes by education. You see? Being able to feed your family. You see? Or to be fortified in the right way in this little life that we have is to be able to earn a living.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So there's two simple things we first have to actually attack. Mindset get changed by education. Now, a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. So you have education, you have health, and then you have working class, who don't want to work, incentives to work, and place to work. Industrialization. You see? And a lot of the time when we think about industrialization, we don't only think about big building and big machineries and all of those things like that. No, we have a lot of work to do on the ground. Because then we talk about tourism. When we're talking about tourism, right now I'm working on a project that can maybe help tourism. I'm working on an engine that would definitely help tourism. You understand? Because we're functioning on tourism. So when the tourists come, a lot of the places in Grenada is not even developed. You see what I'm saying? Grenada is always look like a big flower garden.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, pretty. You understand? So at the end of the day, a lot of those things we don't pay attention to, even what we sell. We are not even designing the product. So to design the product, there is a lot of work there to even design the product. You see? So the conversation continues and keep going, Judge. But we have to start somewhere. And I mean, I'm hearing conversations, and I hearing intentions and all of those things, but it cannot be done just by 4 men.
Yeah. You know, a lot of what you're saying, Killa, I would love personally that if we could move away from the pettiness, right? Move away from the pettiness and see the bigger picture.
That is education.
Yeah, see the bigger picture.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Going to university and some people being wherever it is. I see, we had a conversation the last time and I see some people start to write this and da. And I realize really and truly I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's stupid bad. You understand?
Yeah.
They're literally blind.
Yes.
So they miss the whole point, the whole topic. So them just end up on Facebook and make confusion off and nothing. Them time we don't come off already and we don't go on we way. You understand? I'm being fruitful, minding my business so it could grow and get fat. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, while I minding my business, they're minding your business because they don't understand what you say, what you're trying to say. Because they are, I mean, some of them are intellectually circumcised.
Ooh. Ooh.
You have a caller.
Oh,
You have a caller.
oh, we gotta take this call. Caller, like where you calling us from?
Calling from Houston, Junior. Let me say something. I remember growing up I'm living in Houston, Texas now, but I remember growing up in Guelph that you have some people that people listen to. Let me say the Iron Face. Let me say the Beast. Where is them people and them again? You know.
Yes.
When that folks is going out, so somebody had to. Let me say the police. I don't see police playing basketball with the youths no more. I don't see the police going and run with the youths no more. You had to build community had to build from together with the police. So you understand? So somebody had to take off the responsibility of the older folks going on. And I got one more thing for Mr. Killa. Mr. Killa, will you change your name directly since you is just the face of the country? Would you change it? We understand what the name is, Mr. Killa. It's not, violent person, you know that. But would you change it? And I'm done.
All right, caller. Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Will I change my name? I don't mind changing my name, but that takes a while because now Mr. Killa has been my brand for so many years. Each and every song that I have out there, for me to be able to collect money. If I release a song right now and I put a song as Hollis Map, it is not recognized. That is not, you understand what I'm saying? For a million of fans or whatever it is, you understand, to search out to find my music. That's a whole new approach. So that will gradually happen. For years ago, I tried to change my name and it wasn't working. You know what I mean? I tried to change my name years ago. You see, like you would have Marshall Montano. Marshall Montano want to use other names. You use Monk Monte, this, that, the Monk, that. But that is just nicknames on the side. Really and truly, all his monetization still comes through Marshall Montano because I'm registered all over the world as Mr. Killa. But I understand, and it is a project that I'm willing to take on. But then I had to find a real sexy name, you know what I mean? I didn't even name myself, I never got the chance to name myself and say, well, I wanted to be the artist or whatever it is. They gave me that name, when I started as a young artist. But I understand, and I'm happy that, like people would see and recognize and actually hold me at that position. So I take this with full respect. And I love the suggestions.
And the truth about it is, you never see Mr. Killa involved in any kind of crime. Mr. Killa is often here on the program or on his platforms talking about positivity. When he's not winding up on Talop. When that's not happening, he's strictly positive, brother. So, I mean, it'll be a task to change the name. But Killa, listen, we have to wrap. We have to put a wrap to it. We have 4 more minutes to finalize on everything, encapsulate everything, conclude everything, put it in a little nutshell for us, and then we just toss it aside so the people could get a holistic view of the conversation. Conclude.
So I want to say that my great concern, besides everything else we're speaking about, and I want people to understand, I am not here on this program for no likes. I have enough of that. A matter of fact, most of the times conversations like this cause a lot of friction with some people, because there is people on the other side of the fence. There's a lot of young people in my community right now might feel upset because they are literally had to come out in the road and approach them, in a way and say, this cannot happen here. This is not happening here. And I would not allow this to happen in my community. And they might find, and some of them will say, oh, behind my back, they might say, well, I wonder, so you could come and see that can happen here. But no, it can't happen here. Because as the caller said a while ago, before I remember when I growing up, man like Iron Face, man like Beast, there was a team with some guys called Frank and those guys, you know what I mean? Those foolishness cannot happen. But it was when they had officers like Medico, and the Medico had a very unique style, he might have been a little bit unorthodox, you know what I mean? But they had a relationship in the community because police in Grenada have a very good society to deal with. You understand? It is petty to some societies out there. So we have to thank God for that. You see? So we could spend some time with the community and not the Rambo style application, like just wait until something is something happen. You see what I'm saying? So there is a holistic approach that I feel that we can take as a community together to really help the youths, navigate a little bit better. Because sometimes all they need is a little bit of guidance. Some of them, all they need is a little chance. You see? And the thing is, we talk about it, and then when we talk about it, nothing is done. I alone can't do it. But George, I tell you, I come out of my house and I go in the road and talk to youths. Some of them get it, who is brilliant enough and who is smart enough, they get it, they understand.
Yes.
You have some of them, again, they just want to do what they want to do. So I become a problem. You see? So this is not about likes. This is about a genuine concern. Yo, George, remember, when I jump on the plane and, it's fun. I can have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have some very, powerful friends all over the world. You know what I mean? So, I could go have fun. It's not about that. I want to say this is a genuine concern for my country, and I don't want our country to become like some countries out there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We have the opportunity to stop it and to shape it now. Let's do so. You see? And people, stop the abusiveness of one another. Grenada is about love, it's about unity. As a people, we could stick together. Now, the youths, I want to say this, if you didn't hear this before, do what is hard now so your life would be easy just now. You see? Do what others afraid to do for their success. You see me? In the positive way. So you would have what they don't have. That is all I did. I work extremely hard. When they liming, I inside working. When some of my friends was hanging out and, they just want to smoke and, just want to drink and those things like that, I was working. Sometimes I sleep on floor. I travel places where I don't even know. I remember I go to Trinidad, I had to sleep in Lavantil. A virgin had to give me an old piece of 38 to sleep in the night for in case something happened. You see? In case something happened. So I go through all of those things while they was comfortable. Now, look at it. Some of them get upset with me because of success. I have friends that we used to rock like this, and now it's like, because of the weak-mindedness, they choose their part, and now they will vex with you for your own success after you work hard. Junior, people don't see how hard I work. Half time I work and I feel like it's almost hospital. Your body broken down. You can't breathe. You understand what I'm saying? And I have to do so and take that pain and fight for my own survival because I'm pushing hard. And in the back of my mind, Junior, I just want to make sure that if one day somebody in my family is sick, and broken down, that I could help fix it. If I cannot do nothing, it is a passion, it is a built-in urge inside of me that I want to be able to help as a father, full my basket so I can share. You see, full my water can, let my water can never run dry so I can give somebody else some water. That is my passion. That is how I am built. That's why I have my foundation. The other day we go on a little drive. A pastor meet me yesterday, and the pastor say, this is the third time somebody stood up in my church and speak about you. You see? So not because I'm in entertainment. The church people didn't talk about a bus of wine yesterday or a bus of dance or my new song. They stood up in the church and speak about my great deeds because I helped them.
Right.
And the ability to help is greater than any ability to me, I find, because if you can help, that simply means that you are strong.
Right.
You see? So I'm just saying, youth man out there, do what you have to do now, because you're going to be sorry later. Young women out there, find your talent, find your passion. Don't let nobody tell you that it is impossible. The world is growing. The world is not huge anymore. The world is small now by social media. Learn the things online. Even though you feel like you don't have the subjects for this type of job, start your own business. You see? You can do it. And we need to train the minds of the youth into the right thing. Authority. You need to build that bridge. You need to actually create that buffer between authority and the community. Police is not bad people. You see? We see these things in America and those kind of things like that. We don't need that in Grenada. There is some police officers who are abusive, so they abuse their power. You see? Because they maybe get bullied in school and want to bully somebody else, you know.
Mhm.
But besides that, a lot of the times it's simply because of our approach and our application. It is seen that way in society. As the man say, you have police football, police basketball games. These games, we're supposed to come. You don't want to. Let me tell you this. There are some people who say, yo, boy, police, we don't like police and this and that. And Babylon system is simply because they don't understand. You don't want a society without police. But you also don't want a society with abusive police.
True.
You see? But when you have certain situation, if the police is protecting the community, then the community would understand.
Mm-hmm.
You see? But if a police is abusing the community, then the community will never understand.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Grenada, you're sweet. Grenada is a whole bag of sugar. Let we mind Grenada business and make Grenada business grow. You see? We have a lot of young entrepreneurs. We have a lot of advanced minds and ideas right there sitting down. Imagine Grenada have some of the top people in the world. We have Grenada, we're collecting Emmys, 110,000 people now. Grenada have Emmy awards. You see, Grenada have Framer awards. Grenada wins Soca Monarch internationally. Grenada, one of the doctors in the world right now, top heart surgeon, Grenadian, one of the doctors who developed silicone to his highest level, Grenadian. Grenada have gold medal, Olympic champion. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, this small country, we are small in numbers, but we are big in heart and big in mind. All we need is a little push, a little direction, a little support, and a little love. Yeah, we need
together. That's right, Killa. Killa, thanks again for excellent conversation. I think that it resonates with our viewers, and it is not about the divisiveness, going for the jugular. Like people think that they need to see a dog fight, as you say. No, we're too small for that. Too small for that. We had to figure out ways to come together, to build together. I got to take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back for my conclusion on today's program. Don't move. We'll be right back.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday Money.
Grenada, it's TGIF time again with the NLA. Thank goodness it's Friday. Every Friday in March, place 5 bets or more in a single ticket purchase on Cash 4, Pick 3 or Play Away. You automatically receive a Quick Pick inline ticket valued at $1. NLA is giving back more plays, more chances, more opportunities, and more prizes. Remember, when you play, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Promotion ends March 31st. You must be 18 years and over to participate.
Again, guys, we'd like to say thanks to Hollis Map, Mr. Kill, for coming in and with this great conversation. Listen, action, right? I still think that we need to find ways to get guns off the street. I'm putting together plans, guys, in many different ways that we could do that. Also, we are, as I proposed earlier in the year, we were speaking about the Riders Big Brother Big Sister mentorship program. It's very, very important. And in the next weeks and months, especially as we put this thing together as a big project, we'll be calling upon you guys for support during this particular measure. It's the Riders Big Brother Big Sister mentorship program, and it's geared to uplifting and empowering young people, their minds, and giving them other things to do, finding jobs. Some of them who don't know how to write a resume. I mean, it's just a great avenue for folks to participate in. Stay tuned. We'll give you more information on the Riders Big Brother Big Sister program. Again, guys, we say thank you so much for tuning in to Ride Along Live, where everyone have a story to tell. On the behalf of all our production team here at Ride Along Live, our senior executive producer, Lois JJ, who was sending me some videos. She was a witness to a highway chase or something like that, but she's okay. To our moderators, Kibbs, Gail, and Deanne Fraser, we say thank you so much. Catch you guys again tomorrow, Right Along Live, where everyone has a story to tell. Good night.
Established in 1998, Ross Road and Funeral Services continues to assist you plan the ideal funeral or memorial service locally or internationally. Our reputation is built on providing personalized funeral services based on love and compassion. Call Ross Road and Funeral Services at 718-547-0640.
Ross Road and Funeral Services, where your loved one is our loved one.